Okay, we are starting division, and each day I'm going to continue to go over, put everything away, go over division. We'll do some examples. I'm not going to have you write any of this out because you have access to it on the TubeView. I'll post the videos on the Classroom of Google. So all you have to do is look there. I'll show it in different ways so that you see different ways of how it can be done. So you may want to watch the other videos as I do them as well, because some problems are easier to do other ways and some are not. Now I'm going to start off with the most difficult part of doing division. Because I hear, I can't do division, I'm not good at division, the most difficult part of doing division. So if I have the problem, 344 divided by 8. Now it's important to know that you say the number that's being divided, which is 344, it's being broken into pieces, divided by 8. But you say that number first. All right. The most difficult part of division is listing the multiples of your divisor. And I'm going to do this every time. I'm going to do it every time. And 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 8 is 64. And 8 times 9 is 72. That is the most difficult part of division right there. Taking your divisor and listing the first 9 multiples of your divisor is the most difficult part of division.
But that's a lot of work, like when we get to 12 or we have 23 or 79.
I don't care. You might as well do it, because if you get a division problem wrong, you're going to redo it. And you're going to show me every little thing she does is magic. Everything she does. Okay. Sorry, that's the police. Okay. So, I've listed my multiples, which is the most difficult part of doing division. And your attention's with me, Mr. Park. Okay. So now I need to know where I'm going to put my numbers. It is important to put the numbers in your quotient in the correct place. But before I do that, let me ask Miss Ryback. In this problem, what is the biggest remainder I can have in this?
8.
Nope, can't. 7. 7 is the biggest remainder I can have. Because if I have 8, then I can go up one more in my quotient. So 7 is the biggest number I can have as a remainder or after I subtract. I can't have a number bigger than 7. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So now I ask myself, does 8 go into 3? No. I can put a 0 there. I can put an X. I can put something to signify that there's nothing there. We have no hundreds. Every one of our numbers in our dividend is going to have something above it. I normally put the X. Some people like the 0. It doesn't matter. Now I know 8 is going to go into 34 because 34 is bigger than 8. So why do I do this? Well, let's go over here and look. I have my multiples of 8 written down. I need to get as close to 34 as I can without going over. I have 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. 40 is too big, so it's going to be 32. That means 8 times 4 goes there, and 32 goes here. And then I subtract. And we're doing well because this number is smaller than 8. Once I subtract, I got to have a number smaller than my divisor. Now I bring down my next number, which is a 4. So now I'm going to look at my multiples of 8. I'm going to get as close to 24 as I can without going over. I have 8, 16, 20. Oh, boom! I can get exactly 24. And that is 8 times 3 is 24. Then I subtract. I get 0, so I have no remainder. But wait! But wait! B-U-T, not B-U-T-T. That would be weird. There is a way to confirm that our answer is correct.
Yeah.
And that can be done how, Leo?
By multiplying 43 times 8.
Good. We're going to multiply our quotient times our divisor. And if we had a remainder, we would add the remainder in. And we want our answer to equal our divisor. Our dividend, sorry.
Yeah.
This is a dividend on the inside. So 43 times 8 is 24, 2, 32, 33, 34. So now I know that worked.
It worked.
It worked. But let's look at another way to do a problem similar to this.
Okay.
Let's take this same problem, 344 divided by 8, and I know what my answer was, right?
43.
43. Okay? We're going to do something called the partial product. And this makes your life even easier if you want to do it this way. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take multiples of 8 that I can do in my head and subtract it. So if I say 8 times 10 equals 80, then I subtract. So I have 10 here. And I subtract 344, 80 from there. So that's a 4, 34, 26. Is that right? I think it's 26.
Yeah, 26.
And now I do, let's go this way. Now I do times 10 again. And I can subtract 80 more. Because I'm just doing 80 times 10. Subtract 80 more. I don't get it. That's all right. Just relax. And that should equal, what, 100? 184?
Yeah.
184. And I could subtract, I can do 10 more, which means right now I've got 30 so far that I've done. And so I'll get 104. I can do by 10 again. And that gives me, here, let me move this down here a little bit here. Then I can do 80. And I get 24. That's smaller than 80. So now I'm going to have 10, 20, 30, 40. But now I need to figure out 8 times what is close to 24. Well, 8 times 3 is close to 24. And that's 24, and that's subtract, and we get 0. Then I just add 10, 20, 30, 43.
Easy.
And I'll keep doing this.
Yeah, that was
We're just introducing this. We're just introducing it. So, just chisel. Just chisel.
Yeah, just chisel.
All right, another problem we're going to do is we're going to find the quotient of the 168 divided by 12. But first, I have to do the most difficult part of division, and that is listing my multiples of my divisor. So this is the most difficult. 12 times 1 equals 12. 12 times 2 equals 24. 12 times 3 equals 36. 12 times 4 equals 48. 12 times 5 equals 60. 12 times 6 equals 72. 12 times 7 equals 84. 12 times 8 equals 96. And 12 times 9 equals 108. 12 times 9 equals 108. So now I've listed my first 9 multiples of my divisor, and I have done the most difficult part of division right here. This is the most difficult part of division. That's it. That's hard. That's hard. Now, yes. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to kind of, and I have graph paper back there if you want to use that. Makes it easier, and that's fine. And I know since 1 is smaller than 12, 12 does not go into 1. Then I ask myself, actually I'm going to ask Giovanni, does 12 go into 16, Giovanni? One time. So it does because 16 is greater than 12. I go over here and I want to get as close to 16 as I can. I got 12, 24. 24 is too big, so it's got to go in one time, and 1 times 12 is 12. Then I subtract and I get a 4. That's great, because after I subtract, I have to get a number that is smaller than my divisor. If it's not smaller than my divisor, then we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Oh no!
Then I bring down my 8. And I've got to go over here. I'm taking 12 into 48. I've got to go over here to my list of multiples. 12, 24, 36, 48. Boom, exactly. 12 times 4 is 48. So that means my 4 must go up here. I got a 48. I subtract, I get a 0. But I want to check it. I can check it with multiplication. 14 times 12. Let's see. 6, 7, 22, 8. 2, 0, 4, 1. 8, 6, 168. So it works.
Yay!
But let's look at yet a different method of doing this. Let's look at, we have 344 divided by 8. And we're going to do using the video we did yesterday, the base 10 block type thing. Okay. You need to learn how to do it, right? Okay. All right, we're good. So we need 8 groups. 8 groups. So can I use a whole square? No, I can't use a whole square. I have to use, how much is that one? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I have 80. I have 80. Each one of these has 8 in it, right? I mean, each one of these has 10 in it.
Yeah.
So now I have a total of 80. If I draw one down here, each one of these now has 11 in that, correct?
Yeah.
And I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Now this each has 12 in it. And 12 times 8 is? 96. And now I have 106. And 126. And I can keep going like this until I have 8 rows, and I'm going to go until I have 344 in here. And it's going to be 14. With me? All right. Yeah, I just needed 2 more rows. I could do partial products again. 344 divided by 8. I could go times 10. And what's 8 times 10?
80.
80. Could I do times 20?
No.
Yeah, I could do times 20. What's 8 times 20?
160.
160. That's easy in our head.
I would start off with
So I could do 20, which is 160. I could subtract. And did we already do 344
Yes.
divided by 8?
as partial product.
We already did partial product of 344 divided by 8. We're going to have to re-estimate this here because I was doing the wrong problem here when it was 14. Thank you. All right, so we'll do 168 divided by 12. All right, now we'll do partial product with this. I can go 10, and 10 times 12 is what?
120.
120. Can I go by who? By 20? What's 20 times 12? 240, which is too big. So if I go by 10, and that's 120, then I get 48, then I come over here, then I can go times 4, and I get 14. Now let's go back. That last base 10 one I messed up on because I was looking at the wrong problem. But here's our base 10 with 168 divided by 12. So just ignore that last base 10 I did. I ignore. How many rows across here am I going to want? 12, because that's my divisor. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. Is there another way to do it?
Yeah.
How else could I do it?
You could do a 100 square,
Oh,
and then you could add 2 more 10s at the end. That would be 12 rows of 10.
Oh, I could do a 100 square. And how many groups of 10 would this have?
10.
10. And so I need 11 and 12. And how much is this here?
12.
No?
120.
120. Because I have 100, 110, 120. Okay, I need 168. Okay, so how much do I have left?
40.
48. Okay, so I can go here. That's, now I have 130. Now I have 140. Now I have 150. And I have 160. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 164, 168. Now to decide what my quotient is, ouch, I just got to go across. One row here would have how much? 10. Plus 11, 12, 13, 14. So each one of these rows, and there are 10 rows here, plus 2 more rows, each has 14. And I know this is still a little complicated, and that's fine. Together we'll get it figured out. Now why, Michael asks, do I need to know all these different ways to do it? Well, that's a good question, Michael.
Yeah.
And Michael, my answer is this. Because if you miss a division problem, so let's say you do the division problem and you check it with multiplication, you'd have to do it two different ways, 2 different problems, right? But if you miss it, you're going to do the division regular standard algorithm. You're going to check it with multiplication. You're going to do it partial product. And you might even have to do it this way. So if you missed it, you've already done it 2 ways, plus I'm going to make you do it 3 more ways. And that means you're going to end up doing it 5 ways if you miss a problem. Now, we're just getting up to there, so we're not starting that yet. But just be aware. Just be aware there are other ways to do it. And you're going to be professional divisioners. You'll be able to put that on your resume. Boom, chocolate, peace out. God bless. Love you. Do something kind today. Please subscribe. I want to be